Hello, everybody.
Today we're going to play a fun game.
What's the matter?
The rules are simple. I'll show you 4 pictures of the same shot taken with 4 different camera phones. You pick your favorite, I reveal the results, and then I share my thoughts. Ready? The Galaxy S8 offers the most color pop for your picture. The first thing that catches my attention is the blue in the sky, and then you have other pops of color like the red on the truck, and the white on this apartment building. All 4 of these phones offer great picture quality. The iPhone 7 portrays more realistic colors than the rest. The 6P leans very closely to the S8, and the Pixel lies somewhere in between the iPhone 7 and the S8. At 100% crop, all 4 phones provide great detail on a sunny day, but even more so on the S8 and the 6P in this shot of the truck. And at the very top of the building, the 6P does a really good job providing detail. The iPhone 7 and Pixel come out a little soft, and while the S8 is on par with the 6P, it adds a bit of noise in the sky when close up. Fact is, I'd easily use any of them to share and show off. But if I had to pick a favorite, I'm not gonna lie. The pops of more vibrant colors on the S8 grabs my attention more so than the others. This one gets my vote. In the second set of shots, we have a lot going on. While I enjoyed the color on the S8 in the previous picture, I prefer the more natural output the iPhone 7 displays here. The colors are richer and deeper, while the other 3 photos exaggerate the shades of blue, and brighten up the purple when it doesn't need to. At 100% crop, all 4 still do a great job in terms of detail, but for me, the iPhone 7's realistic color palette gets my seal of approval here. In this third set of shots, I go for a more scenic look. There isn't one particular focus here, so we'll rely on more of the overall photo. The S8 has a huge gradient when it comes to the sky. Take a look at how dark the blue is on the left and how light it is on the right. It gives off a cool effect, but the aggressiveness in color also looks a little off to me. Other than that, all 4 of these shots look good from afar. When we crop to 100%, take a look at the Pixel. It loses all its sharpness in this part of the photo. The 6P provides fine detail despite being a hair too aggressive in its post-processing. And when we crop all the way in the background, the 6P still maintains its clarity. The Pixel does a good job here as well. The iPhone 7 is the softest of the bunch, losing sharpness in the trees, and the S8 isn't too far behind, showing a more darker, muddled background. With that being said, the 6P gets my vote here. In this 4th set of shots, we head indoors to my Airbnb when I was out in Los Angeles. Unfortunately, the 6P couldn't capture the dark ambiance inside and the still sunny LA lighting outside, leaving a haze throughout the overall picture. The iPhone 7 overexposes the background, losing all detail in the sky. Unfortunately, the S8 does that as well, while the 6P and the Pixel show a wonderful sunset on the horizon. But the Pixel handles the lighting perfectly, indoors and out, and gets my thumbs up here. In this fifth set, I do one more picture indoors. The Pixel shoots warm with a very strong shade of yellow throughout. The 6P shoots cool, if anything a bit underexposed in the kitchen, but perfect outside the window. The iPhone 7 has a good amount of noise along the wall and the fridge and overexposes the lighting outside. The S8's color balance is perfect in the kitchen, but a tad overexposed outside. So, I love how the S8 handles the color indoors, the 6P outdoors. But if I had to pick one, I'd go with the S8 for its better balance of exposure throughout. As we head into night, the first thing that pops out to me is a more washed out shot with the iPhone 7. The 6P, while it captures a good shot, has colors that are really saturated and comes off a bit too warm than the rest. The lens flare is also way too much to handle here. The Pixel shot is really an updated version of the 6P. It maintains great color but holds off on being too warm, minimizes a lens flare even though it's still a bit on the heavy side, and while the S8 does a really good job with the shot as well, the balance of color and the way it handles the brightness of light wins me over when compared to the others. In this next set of shots, we have a little more of the same. The iPhone 7 again washes out the picture and overexposes the light in the background. The S8 has a bit of that overexposure as well, but handles it much better than the iPhone 7. Now, the Nexus 6P and Google Pixel are almost identical to each other. Great color, well-balanced lighting, and just an overall excellent shot. So now I have to nitpick. The 6P has a little lens flare going on over here, but the Pixel has a lot more noise in the night sky. And if you focus your attention to the address on the left, it's a lot more legible on the 6P than the Pixel. The color of the fence as well is truer to black on the 6P, and it's those two details that win my decision here. This last set of shots was taken in really dark lighting conditions, away from headlights and other possible interference. The 6P is immediately taken out of contention here due to its lens flare issue from the street light above. The iPhone 7 leaves a very muddied result, which then comes down to the Google Pixel and the Galaxy S8. Overall, both phones take decent shots, but the S8 provides a cleaner picture throughout. The light reflecting off the street isn't too warm as it is on the Pixel, and in the background the lighting is also more balanced on the S8. If we crop to 100% on the street sign, then it becomes very apparent which picture is better in this set. Despite the Nexus 6P being almost 2 years old, its camera is still one of my favorites. It's actually really good to see it hold up against some of the newer competition. I used to be blown away with its results in almost every photo aspect when it first came out, but today that's not the case. Competition's gotten better. And with the next iPhone and Pixel coming soon to the market, I'm hoping we get to see newer levels of quality achieved. I'm still surprised time and time again there isn't just one phone with a camera that dominates the competition. Each one seems to vary in terms of picture quality depending on the situation of the shot. Over my now dozens of phones and multitude of tests, I'm still waiting for one camera phone to rule them all.
Origami.
Okay, so when I was out in LA, I drank a little too much one day and found myself 3 hours outside the city. I lost my backpack holding my Nexus 6P, my Google Pixel, and a bunch of other camera gear. Luckily, one of the vineyards I visited found it, kept everything intact, and FedExed it to me before I flew back home to Chicago. So I just wanted to give a quick shout out to Tony at Firestone Vineyards in Los Olivos, California, Santa Barbara County. Here's a little plug for being so helpful during my time of need. If it wasn't for you and your staff at Firestone, I wouldn't have been able to finish this video. Again, thanks, love the wine, appreciated the hospitality.